Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So today we're going to have some fun with some fabric. So I've got my heat press. I've got this because I do occasionally do some heat transfer vinyl, not as often as I used to, but I still bought it anyway because, well, it was reviewed really well. And I love it. I'm not saying it was reviewed really well and I don't think it is. I'm going to say I think it's fantastic. I think it's much better priced than the Cricut one and does just the same job. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do something with fabric. I did do, oh it's here, yeah. I bought some of those rub-on vinyl things that you keep seeing. I keep seeing, well, I certainly keep seeing in my feed on my Instagram. I bought the cheaper ones, although these weren't cheap by any shot of the imagination. These were I can't remember, something about like £10 for 3, so I don't think they were particularly cheap, but they were cheaper than the other ones. The only thing I don't like about these is they're shiny, and you know me, I have a bit of a problem about shiny. Sorry, make sure I turn this on. Let me just bring this into shot so I can turn it on and make sure it's going up to temperature. That's fine, it is. So okay, so what I thought was we could have a play. So this is one that this is like my test piece, but I'm gonna press these, then we're gonna do something with them. I don't really know quite what we're going to do, but you know, that's the fun of a Monday make, isn't it? So Monday makes for me tend to be all about just making stuff and not worrying too much about it. So I'm just going to cut this. I love that sound. If I could listen to ASMR fabric cutting, I would forever. Let's just put that. So hopefully you heard that. That's the ASMR craft in the bag. So that's that box ticked. Short-lived as it is. So I'm just heating my press up. Just to the standard. I mean, it heats up really quickly. So this is in degrees C. It also does Fahrenheit. It's just that I understand degrees C better than I do Fahrenheit. I've got my head a bit round the converting to inches from centimeters, but I'm not so good with the temperatures. So anyway, so I'm just going to pop this on here, and we're just going to give these a bit of a quick press because it's always better to work with fabric that's nice and flat, isn't it? So there you go. See, simple as that. It's all nice and flat now. If only ironing was as easy. So oh, and the other thing I was going to show you is this. So this is fabric. This is the same sort of thing. It's a bit more cotton than it is linen, and this was just used as a backdrop cloth for coffee dyeing, but look how beautiful that turned out. So this was from turmeric dyeing, so that's why the yellow is there. But I absolutely love that piece of fabric, so I just thought I'd show you. So we're going to do stuff with this. So I'm going to turn this off for a minute because I don't know what else I'm going to use that for. Let me just have a drink of my chai latte. Sorry about that. When I drink chai latte, or when I drink anything, basically, it all gets stuck in my moustache and then I end up dribbling on everything. So let's move that out of the way as well. So let's do a bit of rubbing. So I'd like to have something, I don't know, maybe that on there. No, maybe it's a bit wide. Maybe the clock. the bird and the clock. Yeah, let's do that. So what I do is I cut the area out that I want so that I don't disturb any of the other pieces. Put those to one side, and then I'll get my fabric. Now I'm not worried about it not being straight. I mean, let's face it, what is. Just wanted it kind of square. It doesn't have to be perfectly bob-on square. So this comes on a carrier sheet that's sticky. So this is sticky, so this sticks onto your fabric, and this goes down the fabric. I'm going to rub it down, make it flat first, and then it came with like a lolly stick thing, but I found that just my bone folder is sufficient. You just need to be careful because you can break it. What you're trying to do is just make contact. I mean, like we've all seen rub-ons. It's basically just a rub-on, but I think the difference is it's slightly stickier, so that it sticks to fabric. I mean, let's face it, some of the rub-ons didn't really stick to paper, so. And if you keep a rub-on for a long time, they tend to rub off rather than rub on. So the only problem with rub-ons is you might see them cheap in lots of craft sales and things because nobody really uses them anymore. But then you get them home and you realise they're not sticking. So just bear that in mind if you see them. You know, it's you're taking a bit of a gamble, really. So, like I say, this will be shiny, and I'm not a fan of shiny. So let's just see if it's stuck. So I'm just going to peel it back gently. Yeah, so that's stuck there. That all seems to be stuck. So you have to be careful when you're peeling it, because obviously the fabric can stretch, but the plastic won't. You end up with cracks in it. Oh well, I peeled a little bit of it off. Not going to worry too much about it. Does it look like it needs to be stuck in? Placed in? Can I do that? Let's see if I can. Yep, got it in. Just trying to peel it off now. Cool. Okay, so that's on, but like I said, don't really like the shininess of it. So I could use, let's see what happens if we use some clear gesso. I do have some somewhere. Clear gesso. Don't know what clear gesso on fabric is going to be like, but this is the whole point. This is the whole point of this. So although they were £10 to buy, and I don't think that was a particularly great price, I probably won't use them unless I find a technique that will work. Now, I did have, this is the problem, I did have, what's always a past tense, a pot. This has kind of had lots of things in it. And never been washed out in between, Dave. You mucky pup. Let's find a brush that is suitably bristly. So I'm going to brush it over the whole thing, because otherwise if you just brush it over the one bit, it'll stand out from a crowd. I was going to get a mat. Oh, let's use a piece of this. Right, take my homemade sellotape off. I'll stick that somewhere else. So it can be used at a later date. Tiny bit there, I'll just stick that on that. Let's use this to do it on. Might need a bit more than that, Dave. I'm wondering if it's going to be a bit like what's the stuff called? Starch. It's going to go a bit starchy. It's going to make the fabric stiff. I don't know, but like, let's play and find out. This is why it's fun with fabric. I just kind of want to brush it out. I don't want to necessarily get gesso all over the thing. I just want to brush it through so that you don't have any big blobs. And then just gently brush over it so that you can't see the brush marks. Right, so is that less shiny? Yes it is. Is it still a bit shiny? Yes it is. I'm wondering if there is other techniques. Right, let's do another one, and then we've got something to work from. So let's go. I'm playing, so you don't have to. No, I'm playing because I want to. I'd love to say it was completely selfless, but it isn't. Let's use this one. Yeah, so I'm thinking, I wonder if there's other techniques we can use. So, like, you know, maybe covering it in some kind of a matte varnish, or maybe if we stick a, oh, it looks like it's going there because it kind of just wanted to attach to that bit. That's fine. Let's rub that onto it. I'm going to move that for a minute because it's a slippy mat and I don't want this sliding all over the place. Let my creative freedom loose. Let my creative freedom loose? No. Let my creativity run free, or let my creativity loose. Yeah, but I don't think I need my freedom to run loose. Shut up, Dave. I've forgotten where I've rubbed now. I wonder if maybe, yeah, I'm going to try that. I don't know whether I've just said that out loud or not, so maybe I'm going to try. So, you know, we have napkins. Well, we all have like 10,000 other flaming things, so we all have the interlinings of napkins, these bits. I wonder if a piece of that might do the job. Right, let's see if I can just separate this without a piece of sellotape. No, let's try using this piece of sellotape. Perfect, it was like it was meant to be. It was like that all fell nicely. So, I split the atom. No. I'm not splitting the atom. Not today, anyway. You know, got to give the scientists a chance, you know, to catch up with our superpowers. I'm just going to cut the edge bit off because that's the bit that's got that kind of, I don't know whether you can see it, but it's got like a pattern on it. Got like a, I don't know, like a, it looks a little bit like braille pattern all over it. And if I put that on there, so if I paste that onto there, I wonder how that will look. Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there? So, there's more than one way to skin a carrot. Well, I'm sure it's probably not that many ways to skin a carrot, but like, anyway. Do I want the one that's, do I want the one that I've tinted? This is my vintage photo tinted one, or do I want the ordinary one? We want to go for the ordinary. I think just the plain one, because otherwise it's going to be a bit. I'm going to put this into here. bit of cross-contamination. It's going to be too dark. That's what I mean. I'm trying to get my words out. So I think I'm going to paint this onto here. Oh no, Dave, you've got to peel it off first. Peel the back paper off first, Dave, and see if it's stuck. It would be very shiny trying to leave that bit on. Yep, that's stuck. That's fine. So let's paint this over here. I want to kind of make sure it sticks to that. Definitely on this, the bit that we're covering, and the whole point that we're covering it anyway. You know, I guess if I'd bought, I don't know, I can't tell. You can never tell from those things that you see. You know, the videos that you see in your feed. You can never tell whether they're going to do what they say that they're going to do. So I don't know whether they are also shiny and I've never watched it properly, or they're matte. But if they're matte, I might buy some, because I just don't like these shiny ones. So I really need to find a way to make this work. So I don't want to make this shiny on the front by putting glue over the top of it. So I'm going to use a dry paintbrush just to kind of paste it down without putting any more Mod Podge on the top. And that way then it shouldn't wrinkle too much and it should go nice and flat. Which it seems to have done. I just want to make sure it's kind of down though, tampered into the plastic. So yeah, that kind of makes it much softer, and that's, I mean, I don't know what it, there's quite a few wrinkles in it. Don't know what it's going to look like when it's dry. Don't keep putting your finger in it though, Dave, because that's not helping. Again, don't know what the texture of the fabric is going to turn out like. So that's that one. So we've got this. So that's the clear gesso. Right, the other thing to try is, let's do another one. Just do a small one. Let's do, we've got a small butterfly on here. Only that one in the middle of there. Don't want to use the bee, because I'd like to use the bee in a project if I can get this to work. I think I'm going to use that one. Okay, so I'm just going to peel this off again and just rub this down, because we need everything stuck first before we, well, let's do this one at the bottom just for a change. So that's my dry one, isn't it? So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try doing just Mod Podge over the top of this one, because that's matte. So I wonder if the matte Mod Podge will dry matte on fabric. I want to see how it affects the fabric. I mean, I know I've put some Mod Podge on that one, but that was to put so that we could adhere the napkin to it as well. Right, so let's see if this is stuck down, I mean, not peeled off. Is that peeling off? No, it isn't. That's good. Right. What are the bits of paper, Dave? Because I'm just making a mess. Creating more and more mess and putting it nowhere. What a surprise. It's almost like you're crafting with yourself. So, oh, let's put that back on there. So, this, oh no, we need that. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know. So, that's that one. That's that one. See, the thing I don't like about that is kind of almost dry now. It's still very shiny. I just don't like the shininess of it. It's just a personal thing. I'm not suggesting that everybody needs to feel like this. I'm gonna try putting this one on. No, let's use what's in the thing, Dave. I'm not suggesting everybody should feel like this, but I just don't like the shininess of it. I think if it's got a sheen, it doesn't look old. You know, I'm trying to make things. I like to make things look like pre-plastic era. So unless I'm doing something that's like one of my retro Cold War type things, but so we're going to try lots of different things and see what comes out best. So let's try another one. We're going to do it with, trying to cut your wire, Dave. I don't want to split them up. I like the birds. I guess I could use it afterwards. So let's try doing. We're going to do this bird. Well, not birds. Here's the blue tits on the branch. I'm going to pop that onto here. Let's move that out of the way again. I'm going to try a bit of a different. So we're going to try it with the napkin this time, but going over the top. Because you know me, I like to go over the top. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to go over the top with it. Right, on there. Yep. Let's cut it off about there. Like that. So yeah, I'm going to try it with like the napkin liner, but then Mod Podging over the top. But I don't think I actually ironed this one. Oh well. It's too late now. I've put this down. I don't know how it irons these things. That's a thought. You know, if people are putting like it onto fabric, like a plique, would that A, wash off, B, would it melt under an iron? There you go, those things are yet to be answered, and not by me, because I'm not a fabric crafter, so because it kind of just implies that you can stick it to fabric. It doesn't tell, the advert doesn't seem to tell you whether, it's only a video. It's one of those ones that you feel almost like if you click on it, you're going to get taken to AliExpress or what's the other one? Temu. Right. Let's cut this before I do any more. Let's cut that there. I kind of get the right piece. I think I might go over the whole bit. Don't mind it being a bit big because I can always trim it down. Just don't want it to be massive. So let's try doing this then with some Mod Podge. This one has definitely picked up all of the colouring from in there. So let's just use one that's pre-coloured. If I can get it open. There you go. I know it looks quite dark, but when it goes on it's quite dark, but when it's dry it's not quite so dark. So I've done all of that rubbing on. Let's see if it's stuck. No, not the top, it hasn't. Yep, it has now. Don't take the birdie's head off, don't take the branch off, don't take the leaves off, don't take anything off, Dave. Oh, you mean like that? Oh, just like that. Just ripped the bird in half. It's all going so well. But it's fine, we're learning as we go. Right. There we go. That's better. Right, cool. Didn't slice the bird in half this time. Look at that. Okay, so let's try doing it this way. So we're going to do the whole, go over the whole thing with the other good thing about doing it with this tinted one is you can definitely see where you've done. I mean, I know you can buy this already. You can buy a Tim Holtz version that's already inked, but why buy it when you can make it with what you've got? So, and I've had that. I mean, that was half full when I first mixed it, and it's still going now. So I'm just gonna re-lie that there, and then kind of just try and maybe this would have been better if this had been pressed as well, but we're going to turn it around the other way. Put the brush down. Try and get it to kind of make some contact with the fabric first before we go in with the full pressing it down business. There we go. Stretch it out a bit. You don't want to pull on it too much though, because remember it's already got wet on the bits that's made contact from the glue, and then it's very soft when it's wet. So I'm just going to press it down. Slight crease in there, but I don't mind that too much. Don't mind the creasiness of it. It does add to the age. So make as much contact as I can first. And then go over the top of it. Don't know whether this brush might be a bit coarse, but of course we'll find out. Of course we'll find out. Shush, Dave. It's only funny when other people laugh. You don't want to drag over it too much, and you certainly don't want to get it too wet. There's a big crusty bit of Mod Podge there, get rid of that. So you can still see the pattern. So this patterning here is the colour of the bleed of the ink through the napkin, because it's not it's the middle layer. So it's the first layer with the print on it, and the second layer has got the bleed through, and then the last layer is much cleaner looking. But I like the way it gives it that kind of a vintagey, motley kind of appearance. So that's those. Let's try, because we're going to just cross-contaminate everything now, Dave. I'm going to put some of this, more of this. I'm going to see if we can make this less shiny by adding another layer of this. There's a bit of a mix going on. I'm going to try and keep it just the gesso on the image, and then we can go for a bit of a mix with it around, just for a bit of a look. And then what I want to do is I'm going to speed dry these. So as in, I'm going to use my heat gun to just speed dry it. And then see what turns out best. So, which one was that? Was that just the Mod Podge? Yeah, see, it's still got a bit of a sheen to it. So I think that these are going to turn out okay. I don't know whether they're going to give the effect that I need. Right, okay, bear with me while I find my brick. Okay. So let's dry this one off completely. So I'm going to dry them and then I'll come back to you. Okay? Okay. So let's have a look. So this is the gessoed one, so where I've gone over it again with gesso. It's gone a lot. It's definitely a lot less shiny than it was. Quite like the way that the fabric has turned out. Not a lover of gesso though, so not a lover of the texture normally, but on the canvas is lovely. Quite like it actually. So that one's actually turned out. Might be a little bit damp, but nevertheless, this bit up here is definitely dry, but it's still malleable. So I was a bit worried it was going to make it really stiff. So this is the Mod Podge. So I think the striations in it are where it's been peeled back. You know, where it doesn't peel in one smooth thing and it tugs on it a little bit, and that's what these lines are. But it's not horrible. So that's just the Mod Podge. This is the Mod Podge with a layer of decoupage, of napkin on it, decoupaged over the top of it. I like it almost looks like wallpaper to me. So you know, like wallpaper when you've like peeled away your layers of wallpaper and there's still layers, a few images of something from underneath, and it's got that kind of feel to it. I don't know whether it's the white bits in it making it look a bit like, you know, it's kind of covered in a layer of dirt. Let's just see if that would take any colour and make that any different. It does take a little bit of colour actually, so you could get rid of the white if you didn't like the whiteness of it, but again it still has that aged layers of other things on top. It's got a layer of napkin on top. And then this is the one I really, really love. So this is me where I've used my vintage photo Mod Podge, well, Mod Podge and water that is, and then I've layered it and then I've painted over the top of it with the Mod Podge, and I love the way that one has gone. And yes, it's slightly shiny in some areas, but that looks like those areas have become shiny rather than we've covered the rest of it. I mean, I just think that they would look really good. I mean, like you could always just add like a stamp to it, couldn't we? Let's see if we can just stamp on here as well. Right, let's try not to make a mess, Dave. Try not to make a mess. Let's use maybe a colour that's already in here. This one, maybe. I'm hoping that's going to go with the colour of the birds. I'm just thinking if we had maybe there, we just stamp an image on there. Oh yeah, I like that. Not quite the colour of the birds, I admittedly. I like the bleed on it as well. Definitely looks much more vintage that way. Let's just see if we've got anything else I can stamp. I don't have a lot of stamps to hand because normally I normally plan for my videos. Let's just see what have we got here. What's that? Don't really want that. Maybe just a. Let's see if I can get a stamp block. Do I have a stamp block to hand? Do I? That's the right sort of size. Well, this is not the right sort of size, but it'll do. Oh no, let's do it that way. We'll just kind of stamp that just down the edge. I don't want it to I don't want it. Right, okay. I need to remember not to not to ink that line at the bottom because I don't want the line to be seen. So I don't know. Maybe this, or a brown, or what colour? That'll be too light. Green maybe. Let's go for the green. Let's move them out of the way for a minute. Right, not this bottom area. What are we doing? This edge, isn't it? Is it this edge? Yeah. Again, don't want to have too much. Don't want to have a perfect line down there. Don't mind having a bit of the numbers. Don't want that at the top. Sorry, at the bottom. So if we do this on here, it's going there because I dropped the stamp, so I don't have much choice about where it's going. That's what you get for using a stamp plate that's way too big. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, I've got lots of ideas floating around. So we could just leave that as that is. We could put a I wonder, well, I say we could put a hole in it. I don't know whether we'll be able to get a hole in it. Want to get this through there? No. Will the slot punch go through there? Don't know whether the slot punch is a bit more sharp, but it's made a hole. It's made an interesting hole actually. And we go for. I've got this ribbon to the side of me because of having made my collaboration video. So for Rachel and Bella Crafts, sorry. So we could make that into a nice little tag. We'll finish it with a nice rusty staple. Although, have to say, I think that those white bits are a bit clean looking for me. So one of those colours here will do just fine. The one I need. Brown. Let's go for brown. I like a lighter brown, but this'll do. Just want to knock the whiteness of those lines back. Looks too new otherwise. Oh, that might be a little bit, oh well, I was going to say a little bit dark, but never mind. I'll just call it wear and tear, age. There we go, much better. Makes it look a little bit older. I guess we should do that on the other side as well. Didn't realise it was quite as. I didn't realise the pattern actually went all the way through. I thought it might actually. Is it actually stitched in? It is. I thought it was just a pattern on it. There we go. So we put that back through there. And just do that with it. And then if we staple this in with my rusty staples. There we go. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I'm so excited by that. I really should have these all turned around so I can see the labels on these, but that's a job for a day when I've got time on my hands, and since when I've ever had time on my hands. Anyway, so I really love that. So that one as well. I like it. It's not as fab from my perspective as that one is. These ones are still a bit shiny. They'd be great on a page though. You know, just I'll keep them. I'm not going to get rid of them. They are a little bit wet still. Sorry, a little bit still wet. A little still wet. Oh, I don't know. Put that on there, Dave. You can tell us clean all my stamps and keep them all nice and pristine. The lies we tell ourselves. I don't know. Maybe I should have done something with that. Should have. I know what I'll do. I'll stamp it with one of my nice. What have we got? Preliminary. There we go. And maybe my giant number. Where's my giant number? There it is. My giant numbers, actually. My giant stamp. I'll go for. Let's go for blue. Just stamp these numbers as a reference down it. I'll do that. Which way around are they, Dave? That way. Don't want to press down too hard. Give it some contact, and then there we go. Cool. So it's nice and like a degraded number. Perfect. I love that stamp. It's just it doesn't fit anywhere. It's just enormous. And then if this one feels a bit more papery, I might be able to get a hole punch through this. Yep, I can. Yep. Now let's get some string. We'll do some. No, let's not introduce too many colours, Dave. We'll go for brown. Bit of dyed string, you know, I love to dye me string. And pop that in through the top. Now through the back. I'll just do one of those doubled pieces of string. Like that. So there we go. Oh, I love them. I love them. I love. And I know I've only used that a little bit today, but I promise I'll do some more stuff. I actually think there's a scope for that. Some napkins on fabric. Maybe even encapsulating things. I've just realised what I'd like to encapsulate in it. I've got some other stuff that I was thinking about doing for today, but I decided not to. So I was thinking, I'm not sure what I'm going to do it with, but I now know. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of that very straight edge. I wished I'd kind of not cut the napkin at a straight edge so much, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it as well. But I'm sure I have an emery board somewhere. No idea. Oh, there. I'll just smoosh it off a bit. Maybe not now, but later. But yeah, so cool. I love that. I really love the way, and that has just turned out to be. It's a bit. You know what it's a bit like. You know when I do my what's it called? With the napkins, my faux glassine. It's gone a little bit like wax-proofed fabric. Do you know what I mean? Like the shooting jacket style fabric. I can't remember what the fabric's called, but it's like wax, not wax-proof, waterproof. Waxed. It's like a waxed jacket. That's what I was trying to think of. It's gone like a bit like that, and I love that. I love the way that texture is. I mean, you can definitely tell there's a sticker on the back, but we could do that the same on the back, and you wouldn't notice as much, or you could just really overly ink that area and knock it back. See, look, just doing a bit of ink on it, and it knocks it back. So, but that is gorgeous. So you've heard it here, you've seen it here, go and give it a try. So and have a play, because that's all I did today. Didn't really know what I was going to do, so I thought I'd have a play, and here we are. Look at the wonderful things that we've discovered. Expect to see this again in another video, when my brain goes, oh, and I could do this with it. So anyway, thank you very much for spending some time with me today. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. Come back and see me again, and I will see you on Wednesday for a One Sheet Wonder. All right then, folks. Take care of yourself. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.